Hey guys, what is up? Good morning, good evening, whenever you're watching this. Welcome to Tiffmas, and I'm super excited to talk about this topic for today. So a lot of you guys ask me, what should I be expecting when I have weight loss surgery? Like, what's gonna happen? How am I gonna feel? Stuff like that. So I decided, you know what? I'm gonna talk about it because not a lot of people do. I'm going to talk about kind of like the negative stuff a lot more than the positive, because the positive stuff I feel like is all over the internet. I feel like we all know you have gastric bypass, you lose weight. A lot of people don't talk about the negative impacts of having gastric bypass, and that's why a lot of people think it's the easy way out or it's so easy when it's not. There's so many things that happen. With this video, I don't want to discourage anybody from having weight loss surgery. However, I just want you guys to be aware of what you're getting yourself into. Really know that this is not some quick fix and it's not going to be easy. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this so I can tell you what the heck to expect when you have gastric bypass. So the first thing I'm going to talk about here is it's nothing like you think it's going to be. Sure, you have moments where it's like, okay, this is everything I hoped it would be, but let me tell you, I did not expect there to be any type of stalls or anything like that when I had this surgery. I thought this was going to be a straight line down. That's not how weight loss works. I feel like I should have expected that and I should have known that, but unfortunately I was kind of blinded to it. And I do want to add, I will be talking about this a little bit more in the video. My mom had weight loss surgery before me, so I saw this stuff firsthand and I still didn't put two and two together and really connect what was going to happen for myself, because it's one thing to watch somebody go through weight loss surgery and it's another thing to actually go through it and experience everything firsthand. So it was nothing like I thought it was going to be. I wasn't expecting my body to stall, and I hit a stall every single month. Every single month since I've had weight loss surgery, there has been a week or maybe a week and a half, possibly even 2 weeks, where I haven't lost any weight. With that, I want to add that I don't know if this happens to every single person, but it happened for me personally. With that, makes you check in with yourself and be like, okay, what's going on? Am I doing something? Is this an actual stall? And in reality, most of the time it is your body being like, what the heck is going on? This isn't what I'm used to. Let me readjust. So don't freak out if you hit a stall when you get to your second month and like maybe it's a third week in that month and you hit a stall. Don't freak out. Trust the process. I promise you everything is going to work out. Just keep doing what you're doing and eventually it'll start coming off. And eventually you're going to get to the point where you actually do have to change up what you're doing, whether that's exercise, maybe eating something different, stuff like that. Maybe you even need to add in more calories. I'm not a registered dietitian yet or a personal trainer yet, so I cannot give you guys those qualified answers to stuff like that yet. But one day in the future, I will be able to talk to you guys openly about stuff like that. Until then, I can only give you guys my experiences and how I'm dealing with them and what I'm doing. Another thing to think about when you're in these stalls is that it's really not your body not trying to lose weight. It can also be your body losing inches. So I highly suggest, if you are gonna have gastric bypass or maybe you've already had it, to take some measurements. Don't focus too hard on the scale. I know it's easy to weigh yourself every single day because you want to see that progress. It's exciting, but I promise you, you're gonna need those numbers. So this is something everybody tells you when you have weight loss surgery, and that is about the actual surgery. People are gonna tell you, one, walk around, and two, that you're gonna be in pain. Now, I don't think there's anything that could have prepared me for the pain that I was in. It's up there on the pain scale, and that also depends on your pain tolerance as well, but expect to be in pain. I literally woke up from surgery in the recovery room and was like, what the hell did I just do? And I had to cuss in that because I literally was like, what the So with that, it's going to lead me into my next thing, which is going to be expect gas. Now, this type of gas is not the same thing that you're probably thinking that's going to happen. You're probably thinking, oh, well, I'm going to be farting all over the place. Ooh, no. It's not like that. Sure, you may fart a couple times, but it's not like that. This gas sits in your stomach. It's like you have to burp and it stays in this area right here. It's so uncomfortable, and the reason that this happens is because your surgeon fills your stomach up with a gas that pretty much inflates your stomach to where he can, or I shouldn't say stomach, I should say abdominal area, because it's not your stomach that he's inflating, it's your abdominal area, so that he can maneuver around pretty much to your stomach, and whether he's doing the sleeve, whether he's doing the bypass, whether he's putting in a band, whatever it is, they gotta inflate your stomach. So the best way to get rid of this gas is to get up and walk. When I say I was walking the same day of surgery, I mean I hopped out of the bed and they were like, what are you doing? I was in so much pain, but the gas was so uncomfortable, I had to get up. I had my little IV bag and everything, and I was just, you know, cruising. So with that, I should also add, when my mom came to the actual hospital to walk around, I felt like I was moving so fast. Now, I was able to record a little bit, you know, as much as I could, being fresh out of surgery. I actually watched the footage back and was a little surprised to see how slow I was actually moving. Now, this is a silly one, but it happened to me, so I was like, I guess I should just add it in. You're not moving as fast as you think you are after surgery, and I feel like that can be for any surgery, but whatever. I thought I was like Speedy Gonzalez, just running through the halls. No, I was moving like a turtle. I was Tiffany the tortoise in that moment. Expect to maybe feel like you're flying through the halls, and you're not. An obvious thing to expect when you have weight loss surgery is that you really won't be able to eat much. I mean, that's the whole point of the surgery, right? But it's a little shocking. So when you have weight loss surgery, you actually have to do a liquid diet. And this is different for every surgeon, but I'm just going to tell you my experience, and I know a lot of people have this same qualifications and requirements. 2 weeks before surgery, you actually have to do a liver shrinking diet. And this diet is so triggering, and it's so unbelievably hard. Now, you also, for my surgeon, this is for the Cleveland Clinic, you also have to do a 2-week liquid diet after surgery. And I feel like that they're both really, really important. But the 2-week liquid diet post-op, I felt like was harder. And the reason I think that is because you already have the surgery. And it's like, now what? Like, you just want to get back to eating normal food. You just went 2 weeks without solid food. At least that's what happened for mine. I know for the sleeve, you're allowed food. However, gastric bypass, for my surgeon, no. I'm still not okay. I don't ever want to see Jell-O. Like, no thank you. Bring Jell-O to my house. You're going to get thrown out, just so we're clear. I'm just kidding. Maybe. No, but for real. Like, it's crazy. The liquid diet is crazy, and I do not recommend this diet for anyone that is not being medically supervised and told to. I'm telling you, this sparked some eating disorder stuff for me. Post-op. I know you thought I was going to say pre-op, but no. Post-op is when I started having issues mentally. Please make sure you have a therapist before and after surgery. I feel like it should be a requirement to have this surgery that you have to see an outside therapist. Not just a therapist on the bariatric team, an outside therapist. But back to the original point I was making here. When I say you can really only eat a couple bites, it's not an exaggeration. I mean, you can literally eat the first 2 months out of surgery, max 5 bites. I can eat a little bit more now. The other thing with that is, don't get scared if you can eat more. As far as 3 months out, I started to get a little scared, and there's this like thing where you're gonna stretch out your stomach, blah blah blah. Your stomach's a muscle. Don't be scared. Just make sure that you're eating right. Make sure that you're eating your vegetables, your protein, high fiber stuff, high protein. And when you're allowed to add in carbs, add in your carbs. Try and make a balanced plate. So the other thing that I wasn't expecting is that I could eat sweets after surgery. A lot of people say that sweets make them sick. I was not that fortunate. I'm actually very blessed that I can eat sweets and not get sick. However, I was not expecting oil to make me sick. And I don't mean fried foods. Yes, fried foods make me sick. But I mean like olive oil, avocado oil, mayonnaise. Mayonnaise made me so sick. I don't even look at it the same. So expect things to be different, okay? You're not going to look at food the same. You're going to grieve at some point. And it might not be big, it might not really be anything to you, but it could be something else to maybe somebody you know who's had surgery. It's a big deal. And it sounds silly when you say it out loud, but it's a big deal. And with that goes along with therapy. I really think that everybody who has a surgery should be in some type of therapy, because from that you can end up, you know, going back to old habits. So speaking of old habits, one thing that I was not very aware of is there is something called slider foods. I was about 2.5 months when I did this. There was a bag of chips, okay? And I was able to eat quite a few chips, and now that I think back on it, I probably wasn't. This was probably a total of 5 chips. Let's be real, they were crushed up though. I was very concerned because 1, I could eat the chips. 2, I felt like I ate like, what did I just do? My surgery's messed up. That's not the case. I just had slider food. Basically what this type of food does is it's easier to eat, it's easier to eat more of, it's usually higher calorie food. So I was actually recently in a meeting with one of my friends, and she had said, instead of punishing yourself for eating these slider foods and stuff, pair it with protein, pair it with a healthy fat, pair it with some vegetables, and enjoy it. So that's what I started doing because I felt like I was eating more than I should be. And now I'll eat a bite of whatever that slider food is, but I'm already full because I just had protein, fiber, a healthy fat. So I would just be very aware that you will be able to eat food that you don't necessarily like want to eat or deem healthy. So that was something I didn't know that was going to happen. I obviously knew that I could eat chips because my mom has ate chips, but I don't know, I just thought that it would magically disappear, and that's just not how it works. When it comes down to it, when you have bariatric surgery, you are the one that decides what goes in your body. Point blank, period. So the surgeon doesn't do the work for you. So speaking of like the thing the surgeon doesn't do for you, so this is actually more of a rare occurrence. I could not drink water for 2.5 months. And I'm not kidding. Like, water made me ill. It made me sick. It hurt so bad in my stomach. And I wasn't expecting that. And even to this day, so right now I'm 3 months post-op, if I drink water too fast, it'll still hurt my stomach. However, if I take sips and I do everything that I'm, you know, supposed to be doing with drinking, it doesn't hurt my stomach. And I was doing all of those things when I was trying to drink water freshly out of surgery, but my stomach just said no. And sometimes it just happens. And the reason this is because water is so light in your stomach. This is what my surgeon told me. But the reason this happens is because your stomach, like, it's a fresh stomach. Like, it's so new that sometimes it cannot handle the water because it's so light. Even if you add Crystal Light, sometimes it's not enough. And I just had that unfortunate thing happen to me. Didn't know about it, didn't know it was going to happen. I freaked out because I was like, oh my god, I haven't had water in I don't know how long. So I messaged my surgeon and he was like, no, you're fine. Just keep drinking. Make sure you're drinking something. So with that, I'm going to add, I was able to drink like diet juices. I know some surgeons are like, no juices ever. Liquid is liquid. If you're hydrated, then that's all that matters. Especially if you cannot drink water. The zero sugar stuff, the zero sugar drinks, obviously no carbonated stuff. But yeah, that kind of stuff I was able to drink, and that's how I stayed hydrated for going 2.5 months without water. So my last thing that I have to say that I was not expecting, which is kind of silly of me to not expect, but it is what it is. I wasn't expecting life to go on the way that it did. So unfortunately, my dog passed away 3 days after surgery. I don't know if it was 3 or 4 days, but it was like right after I had my surgery. Also, a month later, my ferret died. So yeah, life goes on after surgery. There's no, you get surgery and all of a sudden your problems are fixed. That was something that I thought I was just gonna wake up and everything would just be better. That's not the case. That's not for real. I'm here to be honest with you and tell you life sucks. Okay, well that's all we got for today. If you guys want me to do like a more positive one, what to expect after weight loss surgery, I will definitely do that because I feel like this is pretty much all negatives. If you guys want me to do another one of these talking about the negatives, because there's more, let me know. And I definitely will. So thank you guys for being here. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button because we always want you here. I love you guys and I will be here tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day.